When you're in the university, the loop is you wake up, you run to the class, you get up, you come out of the class, and then you enjoy. But that's only limited till you're in the university. And that is life. But yes, law firms get a little tiring as you go ahead. Anything you do it with 100% sincerity.
Hello everyone, I'm Tanish Gupta, a fourth-year student at DNLU Jabalpur. Today we have Shruti ma'am with us. Ms. Shruti Nandwana is an assistant professor at DNLU Jabalpur and she had been an associate at Shril Amarchand Mangaldas, Delhi office. Ma'am has completed her BA LLB from NLIU Bhopal and her LLM in Business Laws from National Law University of India, Bangalore. Ma'am is a JRF scholar and she is currently pursuing her PhD from DNLU Jabalpur. Thank you, ma'am, for agreeing to this podcast and we welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you have interned at various reputed law firms such as JSA, CAM, and Vadya Gandhi and Company. As law students, we are often confused as to where should we intern. Should we intern at government offices or research centers or in a chamber, or should we go for judicial internships in law firms? What was the driving factor and what motivated you to go for law firms?
Okay, so I'll take it from where you started discussing it. When I joined NLIU Bhopal, we were also told to go through the regular drill of interning at NGOs and district courts and high courts, supreme courts. In fact, I've also done a judicial clerkship for a month in the MP High Court. Then when I was almost in my third year, I had spoken to somebody, a close family friend who was also from NLIU, a graduate from NLIU. And I just casually discussed and spoke to him about me wanting to do a firm internship. So he helped me get through JSA. That was my first stint at a law firm. And he first got me through JSA and subsequently he got me to Vadya Gandhi. So I interned at those two places. I realized that was my calling. I started enjoying the work. Now, as a law intern, I would tell you that the work is not something that you dream of. There's nothing like Harvey Specter going on in a law firm, and which I always tell my students when I start my company law classes. And then in the third year, I had company law as a subject. Then I myself started developing an interest in the subject and started reading upon it myself. I used to go through commentaries and everything. And then I realized this is my calling. So I started interning. Then we had a very good internship committee which helped us get through internships. So I subsequently got JSA and CAM through my university itself. However, that interest in the transactional work that kept happening and the zeal to know more about, so when you are an intern, you're given more of proofread work or to be true research, which the associates themselves are not free to handle. So when students come to me and say, ma'am, काम अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है क्योंकि मैम सिर्फ प्रूफ रीड किया, हमने क्या किया उसमें, या मैम हमें काम अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, मैम बोरिंग है. So that's a thing you need to realize. You will not have you closing deals every day. That is a one-off thing that happens, and probably even as an associate you might not be involved in that level of work. But as an intern, what your duties are that you go in and you read, research. And I had the opportunity of working with a lot of good people when I was interning. And that made me realize, okay, fine, this can be a area which I can work on. And I was lucky enough to then intern at Shril Amarchand thrice and get a PP when I was in the fourth year. So I was like, why not? Yes, let's do it. But then there's a lot of hard work that goes in when you intern at a law firm. There's a lot of hard work, lot of late nights, and lot of perseverance and sincerity which it takes from your end to reach there.
Ma'am, as you said that you won't get the work you expect. So in our audience, we have people who have not interned at law firms. So what can they expect from the internships in law firm? What can they expect their life to be? Because as people who have interned in law firms, they feel that their life is going in a loop. They wake up, go to office and come and sleep. So
that's life. That, my friend, is life. That's a loop. When you're in the university, the loop is you wake up, you run to the class, you get up, you come out of the class, and then you enjoy. But that's only limited till you're in the university. And that is life. But yes, law firms get a little tiring as you go ahead. And you need to keep thinking about ways of motivating yourself. So what work should you expect when you go is, there will be days when you will have lesser hands for yourself to keep working, less time for you to finish what is given. And there will be days where there will be no work at all. You will go in and you will sit, and probably you will keep thinking कि काम नहीं आ रहा है, नहीं मिल रहा है. And I'm telling you, I still remember my first few days at the internship at law firms. I was a little scared of going and asking for work. I was a little scared of everything that was happening there, because that is natural. That is not your natural habitat. You are used to your university, you are used to your friends, you meet new interns there. But your work will on some days be proofreading, on some days be a little research, on some days be a little drafting of a note that your associate probably wants, or your partner probably wants you to research on. But on most days you will feel that you're not given enough work of what you want. At days there will be a lot of work, but not what you want to do. There will be a research which you will be stuck for almost a week, and you will not come to a conclusion. But that is very normal. That is how a law firm is. So you cannot expect a standard protocol of work. It varies from firm to firm and from practice to practice. So that is it.
Well, that's what life is about, the loop. And that's what internships are, that we will always not get what we expect.
Correct.
Ma'am, in the university, we have students who have secured internship at good places, JSA, Trilegal, CAM. We also have students who are struggling to find internships at good law firms. They are interning at law firms, but not at tier 1 law firms. And we also have students who have not yet interned in law firm, but they want to start interning in law firm. And given that they do not have any previous background in the law firms, how can these students get law firms, especially in tier 1 firms?
See, tier 1's a little tricky. First, because tier 1's already have designated slots for a few national law schools. But yes, apart from that, tier 1 requires a lot of follow-up, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of CV building. So when we go on to securing internships, the first thing which comes in is your CV. Now, wherever you apply, first you have to make sure that your cover letter is good. A general mistake which all of you do is you write, I want to intern in your corporate team. That's not how you write on a cover letter. Yes, you write you want to intern in that firm. When they ask you for an option, you tell them, yes, I would intern in this place. Otherwise, you need to get that law firm experience. So आप पहले जाएंगे वहाँ पे, फिर you'll understand what teams are, what kind of work happens. Second is that you have to ensure that your CV is built very nicely. So a CV, when you look at it, should look a little presentable. Your CV building and your practice or your starting of going to law firms has to begin on the day you enter into the university. So you have to start studying from the day 1, so that you're able to build your grade, CGPA, SGPA, whatever you call it. Because the first thing whenever somebody looks at your CV is what university are you from and what marks do you have. Obviously, अगर आप किसी को नहीं जानते हैं तो आप सबसे पहला पैरामीटर उसकी सिंसियरिटी का या चेक का वो होगा. तो आप सबसे पहले सिंसियरिटी चेक लेंगे कैसे, कि अगर ये बच्चा अपनी पढ़ाई में सिंसियर है तो ये मेरे काम को भी सिंसियरली करेगा. उसके बाद आप देखेंगे प्रीवियस इंटर्नशिप एक्सपीरियंसेस कैसे हैं. तो अब कुछ लोग बोलते हैं मैम हमने सिर्फ चेम्बर्स में इंटर्नशिप की, अब हम फर्म में कैसे करें. तो चेम्बर्स में भी आप किस टाइप से चेम्बर्स में कर रहे हैं. क्या आप सिर्फ क्रिमिनल चेम्बर्स में करेंगे तो लॉ फर्म को लगेगा कि हमारी ये प्रैक्टिस समझ नहीं पाएंगे. ठीक है, तो आपको कोशिश करनी पड़ेगी कि आप अपनी प्रैक्टिस वैसी अलाइन करें. आजकल तो बहुत वेरिड प्रैक्टिस के चेम्बर्स भी हो गए हैं, बहुत नए लॉ फर्म्स हो गए हैं जो आपको ईजिली ले सकते हैं. देन यू नीड टू मूव ऑन टू योर नेक्स्ट पार्ट विच कम्स इन टू मूड्स और ADRs और डिबेट्स. You need to be active there to show that, yes, I have a potential of doing something other than my studies as well. So I can multitask, I can study also, I can moot also. I can write research papers also. And when you go on to law firms, they do a lot of drafting. So your moot memorial drafting, your paper writing, and then paper writing on contemporary issues related to corporates, if you want to get into corporate law firms. So for example, if you keep writing on family or criminal, it really won't help you. So you need to write on corporate law related matters. So that's how you will start building that. Now your second part of the question, how to differentiate between those who've already interned and those who've never interned. So for those who've never interned, I've already told you that you need to build your CV. The second part is the right time to apply. For an internship in June, you will never apply in March. You need to apply 6 months prior. So you start applying from January and you keep following up. क्योंकि आपके साथ साथ इतने ही और बच्चे हैं बाकी नेशनल लॉ स्कूल्स के या प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के भी जो अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. तो अगर और भी लॉ स्कूल्स के बच्चे गवर्नमेंट नेशनल जो भी हैं प्राइवेट सब अप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो हाउ डू यू स्टैंड आउट? सो यू सेंड देम इन वे इन एडवांस सो दैट यू बुक योर सीट अ लिटिल फास्टर. ये तो आपको सीट ही बुक करने जैसा हुआ, तो आप जितनी जल्दी जाओगे उतना पॉसिबिलिटी होगी मिलने की. And then you keep following up. Now following up is not that you keep bugging them every day. 20 days, every 20 days you can just write a follow-up mail. If you have the contact number, you can contact them and tell them that we've sent you our CV, what should we do? That's how you get an internship in the first instance. Now students in the third year come and tell me, ma'am, I want to intern in a top tier law firm. You cannot straight away intern in a top tier law firm. That's not how things work. So you have to build your CV that way that you start interning at tier 2, tier 3 law firms, then you build up to go there. Because आप जब नीचे से करेंगे तो they will also see that you have a good CV. Then you go on and you go to those people who've already interned. For them it's a little easier, but what they do at the firm makes a lot of difference. So if they intern properly, they're very keen on doing work, then they get a call back, they can get there. Otherwise, their first internship forms the basis for the second one. They can frame their CV in a way, and you have to properly write down what work you've done. And when you write down what you've done, you should not never fake of what work you've done. You have to be genuinely true of what you've written, and you have to put that down, because अगर आप internship पे जाओगे, otherwise interview में पूछेंगे, if you're not able to answer, they will understand. Then it ends the show there. So that's how you can work on it.
So consistency is the key. Aligning your CV is what is required. Ma'am, along with the CV, there are certain firms which take interviews for your internship.
Correct.
So the do's and don'ts in the CV and the cover letter, and what some tricks and tips for the interviews.
Okay. So I've also given a few interviews for law firms. I've given an interview for Trilegal for internships. Now what they ask is at that point of time, what they ask was very basic. They start from basic questions. But what you've written in your CV, or related to company law. So if you're in the third or fourth year, they will not ask you something related to merger transaction or this or that, but they'll ask you something related to company law. I've also been asked something as basic as what is the difference between a memorandum of association and article of association. I've been asked as great as what is a slump sale. So it depends on what you put in on your CV that they ask. So you have to draft your CV and you have to present yourself that way. Now what to write in the CV, I've already told you. Write what you've done. Don't write what you think you can study and give in the interview. It's not an examination. It's a quick check.
Right.
If you worked on it, you worked in and out on it. So they'll know about it. So that's how.
So securing internship, for that you need to have a good CV, you need to build your CV, you need to work upon your CV, have a good cover letter.
Correct.
And then regular follow-ups is what is necessary. Ma'am, with that, getting an internship at a firm, what is that which will make you stand out from rest of your co-interns?
What makes you stand out from your rest of interns is what makes you stand out in life. That is your hard work. Your hard work, your sincerity, your punctuality, your effectiveness and your efficiency. All these matter. You cannot be very quick but give them wrong work. You cannot be very hardworking but keep going on and on and on. If you don't find something, you go and report to them at the end of the day. When you reach your table in the morning, reach on time. We used to make sure we are in the law firm before our associates. We used to drop a mail to our team. Hi, good morning, we are available. Please let us know if you have any work. If you already have some work on hand, you mail the concerned associate or partner that, good morning, I'm on my desk, working on this, please let me know if there's something urgently needed. So you keep in touch with your partner and you show your willingness to work. You show your willingness to work by going and asking for work. Now there's one question which keeps coming up to me is, ma'am, we've been assigned a team, and in some law firms, they do not assign a team. You are a general intern. So in that case, you will understand who wishes to give you work. Now, if you've been giving me work always, I will come and ask you first. In case you say I don't have work, but wait. If you've told me to wait, I will not go on to somebody else and take up work and then keep that other person hanging. But if you've told me, no, I do not have work, then I ask you, ma'am, can I take work from somewhere else? If they say yes, you go and ask for work. But nobody will come and give you work. You will have to go and ask for work. That's what shows your sincerity. That's what shows your willingness to work in life. And your hard work, your dedication reflects. While interning also, I have worked till 2-3 in the night. And because my team sits there, imagine your team is sitting there, you get up at 5 and say, this is my working hours, I will leave. So why will they call you back? So that's what makes you stand out. And a little study before going there. Study before you go there, don't be blank. Now there is ample of social media platforms where you can read, you can keep watching YouTube videos and you can study. And also a little basic research should go on from your end of where all can you find the research material of the team where you intern in. So that is a homework that you should always do.
So being prepared is what you should do.
And being hardworking is the key.
Hardworking, being persistent. Yes. This brings us to our next question, that how do we get a call back? And the procedure for getting, because there are people who are getting internships but are struggling with the callback, and even if they get the callback, they are struggling with getting a PPO.
Okay. So the answer flows from the place where we ended last.
Right.
Hard work, hard work, hard work. When you go, you work hard, you show your availability, you show you are there all the time. When you do that, you will have, and when you tell your associate that you're waiting for a callback, you're willing to come back, you tell them how good you felt when you work with them. Now you do not have to, wherever they give you work, do not show as if you're burdened with more work. Be willing to take up work. They will give you, and they will always give you reasonable work. They also understand your level of working and your capability. So show that you are willing to work. You tell them you work hard, you stand out, you do good work. Then you tell them you wish to come back. They will give you a call back if possible. If they give you a call back, if you're in a 4th year, you need to tell them you want to PPO. And then you work towards it.
Ma'am, is there any procedure for follow-up callbacks? Like, you have interned at a place and communicated to the associate that you want a callback. So you usually start doing it since the 3rd week of your internship. But if you have not received any response from the HR or the associate by the end of your internship, how do you deal with it?
Then you come back and you can, obviously, if you worked with somebody, you have their contacts. Then you speak to them, you contact them, and then you tell them that this is the scenario. If they tell you to write to the HR, if they tell you to write to them directly, you accordingly do it. But your team which you worked with will give you a call back, so you will have to deal with it that way.
Ma'am, we are talking about hard work, that it reflects persistence, your skills, your willingness, it reflects. So you had been an associate at CAM. As an associate, what did you look into an intern? What did you expect it from an intern?
As an associate, I had quite a few interns, but I remember a few distinctly for, as I said, it sounds very repetitive because it is what it is. They were very hardworking. They used to make sure that they were willing in the morning when we used to be there, they used to be with us. And they were willing to do the work we gave them. There was never a frown, no matter what work you gave them. And they were also very hardworking, very sincere, very sincere. A few of them would do no matter what they could, all they could, in fact, to get that research done, to get a document drafted, typed, and their efficiency and effectiveness of work. By efficiency and effectiveness, I mean not a document came to us that was not formatted, not a document never justified, not a document never properly line spaced, same text, same font. So that's what I keep telling you all in the classroom. A document should also always be Control A, Control J. That's the basic. Because you might do excellent research. Your research might be something that is beyond anybody else. But if that does not reflect properly on the document presented, if it's shabbily presented, that will never help you. So yes, hard work, efficiency, effectiveness, and a willingness to learn. So probably you do not know where you have to get something from, but you can always come back and ask. So that is one thing that is very necessary if you want to be a good intern.
It all comes down to your willingness, where you want it. So if you are willing, you will work hard to get it.
Yes. Correct. And that's what I have done as a law intern. So I have been there and I've expected the same out of my interns.
Yes, ma'am. So now you are teaching us, you are an assistant professor here. So what motivated you to leave the law firm and pursue a career as an academician?
I think it was more of my interest into reading, into research. That's what brought me here. And a little more affection probably to the university and to coming back to the university always. But yes, my likingness to research. By this I never mean that in law firm I could not research or there's no research. But yes, academic research. Academic research is always something that interested me. I'm very keen on reading, I keep writing. So that's what interested me, and that's why I decided it quite early, but yes, I decided to do what I'm doing right now. And I'm very happy that I did this because it gives me a sense of fulfillment. So a sense of satisfaction, and hence I'm here teaching you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was a very insightful session. You have guided us so much with respect to CV, with respect to cover letter, with respect to cracking interviews. And it all comes down to your hard work, your willingness, whether you want it. What do you want? Whether you are willing to work hard to achieve what you want. So it was
As a parting message, anything you do it with 100% sincerity. Even if you do not wish to practice law and you might wish to choose something else as your career, whatever you do it with 100% sincerity. Only then will you get a result. Otherwise, half-heartedly, you will never achieve where you really want to. So that's
and hard work always pays.
always. There's nothing that hard work cannot help you achieve. Nothing at all. It is only hard work and sincerity that will take you. It is hard work that will make you, or lack of it that will break you. That is what is my mantra, and I give it to you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was very motivating and an insightful session. With this, we end our episode here. Thank you.